goes on for 10 years, and then we learn that this guy has died under mysterious circumstances. To find out what happens next, listen to Reply All episode 79, Boy in Food. Tap now to listen on Spotify.
It's Mattress Firm's President's Day sale.
Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm just setting up this file. Believe it or not, I started with editing, so I haven't drawn anything from this episode yet. I've just blocked out what I'm going to use for the script. So you're going to be seeing me start from scratch here. And I'm probably going to draw a creepy ghost girl today. Hello. Hi, everybody. The early arrivers. Benny, Moonlight, Dite, Kylo Ren, Cute Idiot, Veronica. Hello. So I'm getting started here. I'm gonna create a new folder. Sorry, gotta get the formalities out of the way. This episode is called The Haunted Library. Hi, everybody. How's the music balance here? Is that so I'm gonna jump right into it. Okay. So I need to make a really creepy girl here. There's a little girl grabbing a 13-year-old girl who's like in a library that's burning down. So what I've got to do is make this girl really, really creepy. Little sock, little shoe. It's a big Ronald McDonald toe. Let's back it up there. Some pants, not shorts. Well, we gotta show a little ankle, so maybe medium shorts. Because this creepy girl is going to be grabbing the ankle. So should we flip it this way? No, the action should be going this way, so we'll have it over here. I kind of want this girl to be like Junji Ito inspired. As creepy as can be. Actually, it's kind of Momo. So I'll be streaming until 3. And I'm going to try and get as much done. Yeah, it's going to be a creepy pick. Jeff the Killer. I don't know what that is. Yeah, last time the stream started at like 9 a.m. Pacific time, so people were just getting into school, I think. Yeah, these eyes could be better. But this is just the design process. This is how we get there. Spooky, scary skeletons. Yes, it's a little girl. Creepy little girl. Trying to go as freaky as I can. Gotta get that nightmare fuel. She has long dark hair, blunt brown bangs, and a sailor dress. That's what the script says. But there's a scene where she's grabbing her by the ankle and won't let go. So that's kind of what I need to go with first, because I feel like this will be a big moment, and I like to start with like a big like poster moment. Because that kind of sets the tone for the entire episode. kind of want to make it look like there's like craters in this girl's like eye sockets, like the eyes are like so sunken in that they're like inside of holes. And this isn't going to be how we see the little girl when we first see her, but it's going to be her at like her most extreme, because it's going to kind of like intensify. Like it's going to look like a cute little girl at first, and then it's going to become a lot creepier. I might be ready for my second cup of coffee. The leg's so nice. I used it twice. Alright, I love the number of the beast too, but no need to spam. Give him a little timeout.
Spilled your pina colada? Bounty picks up spills quicker. And is 2 times more absorbent than the leading ordinary brand.
I hope we don't get a copyright call from Jimmy Buffett for that ad. That'd be obnoxious.
Like a Certa Perfect Sleeper Queen mattress, now just $499.99.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, keep it up with the art. You know, like everyone has room to continue growing and learning. Yeah, this is going to be in next week's episode. The Haunted Library.
This month, you can build your very own kitchen spice rack at the Home Depot's Do-It-Yourself On-Trend Workshop. An experienced store associate will help you measure, cut, stain, and assemble a multi-level spice rack. It's perfect for adding
What kind of dress is this girl wearing? Gotta read the script. It's a sailor dress.
HomeDepot.com/workshops. Thursday, February 20th at 6:30 p.m. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Okay, could do that. But I can't go with the Japanese style sailor dress. It needs to be different. this is going to be the design. And that's roughly the idea, but I'll use that as my reference. Yep. I barely started the stream on time, like right up to the last minute. I hate it when you can't close a gap so you can fill. Just go around hunting for that gap to close. Okay, got a dress. That's our reference. Except I have to draw it from a different angle. This is like one part Junji Ito, another part Garbage Pail Kids. Alright, someone else spamming now. I tuned out of the chat for just a minute because I was looking at a reference, so I didn't see who was spamming. I like the way these nails point. I'm not gonna get hung up on it, but alright, here we go. Last week our Drawstream got demonetized because the playlist that I found on Spotify, they actually still had copyrights on them, and yeah, so now the monetization goes to them. So I think I actually picked out a real royalty-free playlist this time. Sucks about last week because I didn't even like that supposedly royalty-free music. Would have much rather listened to something else. And apparently the studio that we work with, who kind of, you know, promotes Something Scary for us, they have like a music library that I'm going to get access to, and I'll be able to play that on streams. But until then, just have to use what we have. Finally zeroed in on that person. I did not know what that was. If these were a little further apart.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. 30% of Americans who are planning home improvements of $5,000 or more will pay for those renovations with a high-interest credit card. That may not be a great idea. A better idea may be to take cash out of your home with a Quicken Loans 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage...
Can't believe it. Someone's doing yard work. Can you hear all that? I hope the gain is low enough that you're not hearing the yard work going on, but it's very inconvenient.
The Home Depot has a secret recipe for new kitchen appliances, up to 40% off appliance special buys, like a stainless steel Whirlpool kitchen package for only $18.98. You get a side-by-side refrigerator, electric range, dishwasher, microwave, and for a limited time, over $1,000 off.
Surprising how well the timeout works. Like, I've never had to actually remove someone. They seem to chill out once I give them a 300-second timeout. Oh no, lawnmower. Okay. I just hope it stops. Is it totally obnoxious? Because I could just go microphone silent and play music until it stops. I'll be moving to a new neighborhood at some point, I hope. You know, just small adjustments can go a long way towards making a character that much creepy. Sometimes it's just moving the mouth down or making the eyes smaller. I'm a big fan of the cheerful looking monster. You know, you can get a little burned out on the like mad, like scary, frowny monster. There's something a little creepier about a monster that's like playing with its food. Do a lot of people here like scary movies? Like horror movies? I saw the teaser trailer for the new Saw movie, which is called Spiral. And I've been following that, and I'm excited about that because Chris Rock came to it specifically like with an idea to reboot the franchise, and I'm excited to see what he does. And it looks like a movie, like it looks like a real movie. It doesn't look like a TV show like the way the other Saw movies do. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Make some of the Something Scary stories into movies. Have I seen It? I have seen It Chapter 1. I have not seen the second part. And I have not seen the entirety of the 90s one with Tim Curry. Although I watched YouTube clips of it, and Tim Curry is brilliant. Yeah, I like Stranger Things. I liked it a little more in the first season when you felt like anything could happen. Like, it felt like they straight up offed Will. You know, just straight up child death in that show. But like further down, you see the characters get a little safer. You know, like they're cemented as like permanent characters. They have main character immunity. This app is Adobe Animate, also known as Flash. My favorite ghost story is probably the episode we did, the True Mexican Ghost Story, featuring Henry Garcia, because that's like a real story that happened, and it's very convincing. kind of reminds me of an anime character. I don't know who though. I didn't watch the anime it's from, but the bangs sort of remind me. If I ever had any scary experiences, I've had sleep paralysis before. I've had like a nightmare where, you know, you're in your bed but you're having like a dream, so it feels real because you're in the place that you actually are. And I felt like the sheets were slowly being pulled off of me, and it freaked me out so much that I like woke up screaming, and the blankets were still on me, but that was a feeling of like my security being threatened, you know. And I had another nightmare in the same bed, and I think that room was haunted because the woman who lived there before us died in that room of emphysema, and you would feel it in that room, just like it was hard to breathe in there. And another time I woke up like screaming because like the ceiling fan was spinning around, and it looked like ghosts or demons like swirling around above me, and I was looking right up at it, and that was another like sleep paralysis moment that freaked me out. I wouldn't call it like I wouldn't call sleep paralysis an affliction for me. I haven't had it since I lived in that room, so I feel like it could have been that room. It could have been the death tied to that room. And my little brother lives in that room now, and he experiences breathing problems in that room. Andrew, no, I have not seen a ghost. Although if I did see a ghost, how would I know it was a ghost? I'm not very attentive. But my little brother does live in that room where the woman died before. And we have a cell phone tower on that property, and it's next to a highway that has a lot of death near it, like a lot of car accidents. And that's gotta be like a magnet for like ghosts or paranormal activity. When I lived there, I like wished and wished that I would get abducted by aliens, because we would see shooting stars up there. It was like kind of in the mountains, and I wanted to meet an alien. I wanted to meet a extraterrestrial. Now that I've heard more about abduction stories, I never want to be abducted by aliens, but it was very, I don't know, attractive to me. At the time.
Spilled your pina colada? Bounty picks up spills quicker and is 2 times more absorbent than the leading ordinary brand. Bounty, the quicker picker.
You probably think that's the sound of a power drill, but it's a new stand mixer whipping up something even more powerful, cookies. Now at HomeDepot.com, get everything from artisan stand mixers to premium coffee makers. Save up to 20% on small kitchen appliances. Plus, enjoy free and flexible delivery and easy in-store and online returns. Shop decor now at HomeDepot.com. How doers get more done. Valid on select items online only now through February 20th. Free delivery on select items $45 or more.
Please don't sue me, Jimmy Buffett, for playing an ad that has a song about pina coladas.
Will in fact help you be warmer. We asked cold victim Trent Patterson about this, and here's what he said.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. I was a little cold, put on a sweater, then wasn't cold. I was like, what?
Also in obvious news, Geico makes it easy to save money and easy to reach them, with licensed agents available around the clock. So switching is a really smart decision. That's obvious news from Geico.
The last song on this playlist. I'm gonna have to queue another one up after. Do I have some other artists in the chat? Do they, does anyone else like illustrating digitally? Or illustrating in general? I highly recommend getting a lot of practice with any kind of Wacom tablet you can get your hands on. Even if it's like a cheap bamboo, you know, shell out the $50. Start practicing early on. Start practicing with colors. And learning color theory. Just get some practice making clean artwork, clean lines. You know, when you're learning, it's important to be rough, but then when you also want to practice the cleanup process, you don't want to neglect that either. You want to, you know, finish your drawings. You want to take them all the way to completion. You know, there's some artists who just like draw great the first time out, and that's it. That's like, that is the art. And that's amazing too, but that takes so much practice. You really just gotta draw a lot, sketch a lot, do a lot of rough drawings, and then also get a lot of practice digitally, making clean lines, clean art, and practicing with colors. Watch YouTube videos, tutorials, YouTube videos about color theory. Yeah. Traditional's great. Yandere. Yeah, I might have to... Is it the bow? Or the bangs? She's not coming out of the floor, but she's on the floor. And there's a burning building, and she's not letting the girl go. The girl who's trying to escape. I went down a rabbit hole this morning, learning about Mixamo, which is like a 3D software, and something else called Magica Voxel. And it's this really cool 3D software that's free. You can download it. It's called Magica Voxel, and almost like, I guess Minecraft might be a comparison, but you're drawing 3D pixels, and you can import your like pixel art drawings, which I have pixel art drawings, and I was turning my pixel art characters into 3D, and that was very fun. I can't wait to do that again. There's some people doing amazing things with pixel art right now. Like, I really like what Lumpy Touch is doing. Shout out to Lumpy Touch if you wanna do a collabo, get in touch. Lumpy Touch. Bendy and the Ink Machine. Thank you, marvelous boy. What up? Shout out to Best Gamer, Ugly Potato, Survive Dude, Naruto, and Caden. You behaving yourself now, Caden? Spend enough time in the timeout corner. Yeah, I liked it better here. I hate drawing people lying down. It's such a weird perspective. I have to get better at it, but okay, this playlist is over. I'm gonna start a new one. It sounds exactly the same. It's all house sounds the same. Do I take inspiration from my nightmares for my art? I don't have enough nightmares to constantly take inspiration from them. I've had some good nightmares. I take inspiration from my daymares and horror movies I watch, horror media in general. Yeah, my nightmares are pretty mundane. Sometimes I'll have just dreams that I'm working, that I'm drawing in Flash, except it's all very abstract. Like, I'll be like in Flash and I'll be like making some really important shape, and I'll be like tweaking it and bending it and getting it just right, and it won't even make sense what I'm working on. And then I'll wake up, or I'll be saving, I'll be hitting Control S the entire dream, and when I wake up, it didn't matter that I was hitting Control S, that I was saving, because you can't save Flash while you're sleeping. You can't save Flash while you're in a dream. There were a couple times where I was like, why don't they invent that? Why doesn't Adobe create support for that? Like, let me upload my dreams to the cloud. Yeah, Juliet, this drawing is for the next video. This is a ghost, and we have so many ghost stories, and lately when we get something simple, I feel the need to make it scarier than just like looking like a human. You know, since we have artistic license to make things scarier, I like to go for an enhanced reality. I hate what's going on with this, these legs. Thankfully, this isn't even going to be on screen, but I need to get the anatomy right. Yeah, the origin story is in the... It's in the story. Like, this girl is in a library, it's cold, so she goes down to the basement because she's looking for the thermostat. And it's all old down there, and there's like old newspaper clippings and old books and stuff. And she finds a newspaper clipping that reveals that this library was once a house that burned down 50 years ago. And the little girl is like in the photograph, and she burned down with the house. And so now her spirit is here trying to burn the place down and take another soul with her. I still have problems drawing hands, but the great thing about hands is you've got two of them. You take your pick, you draw with one hand, and you look at the other. You rotate your hand, look at the front, look at the back, point it at different angles. Just practice a ton. And then when your hand isn't good enough, go on the internet and look at other people's hands. Draw hands till you get sick. And don't slouch on the hands either, because you can draw a beautiful face, body, everything else, but if the hands are sloppy, it's like, you know, the only thing you notice. I can never, like, decide where I want to put the thumb when I'm trying hands. It's maddening. Make it so this person's really trying to get away. Yeah. Struggle is real with hands. Let's get into the cleanup process, shall we? Yeah, I started this stream in such a rush that even the thumbnail is from last week's episode. The Hunted on the Run.
Spilled your pina colada? Bounty picks up spills quicker. And is 2 times more absorbent than the leading ordinary brand. Bounty, the quicker picker.
You love iced tea. It's smooth and refreshing with just the right flavor. You also love to unwind. That's why Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea is everything you love, because it's made with real brewed tea and a kick. Twisted Tea. Unwind with a twist. Drink responsibly.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. Over 95% of places in the US that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2019 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
This month, you can build your very own kitchen spice rack at the Home Depot's Do-It-Yourself On-Trend Workshop. An experienced store associate will help you measure, cut, stain, and assemble a multi-level spice rack. It's perfect for adding a touch of style and organization. Register today at homedepot.com/workshops. Thursday, February 20th at 6:30 p.m. The Home Depot.
Yeah, I know, we all miss Sapphire. But you're just gonna have to embrace the new, and if you miss Sapphire, you should go check out her show. She has another show she's working on. Podcast. Stories with Sapphire. How'd you drop a pool ball on your knee? Yeah, these eyes are looking too round. Gotta make them a little lumpier. A little lumpier. Sorry, I Shrek'd out for a second. Would anyone play a Something Scary video game if we made it? No, there isn't a game. It's just, I don't know. I've thought about it. I've thought about like what it would take to make a Something Scary game. Like what kind of game it would be. Like would it have to be a point and click adventure like the 999 games for Nintendo DS, or would it be something like Eternal Darkness? That'd be kind of cool. Like if you could collect magic and like instead of the Tome of Eternal Darkness, you're like collecting pages for like the Something Scary book, and you're collecting stories, and every time you find a story, you have to play through the story. You have like a flashback. And I love the idea of being in a like mansion collecting these stories. Augusta, I am Johnny Ashley. I'm Detectonomicon. I'm the artist for Something Scary. Not to escape from the ghosts, but to get to the bottom of a mystery. I don't know what the mystery would be. Maybe the mystery would be, where's Sapphire? Be looking around for Sapphire, because everyone's always asking, where's Sapphire? Alright, bye-bye. It's one of life's great mysteries. Thanks, Stephanie. Well, maybe I gotta make this video game to find out. It's just me. Around Christmas, things got really like crunch oriented, so we had to hire some artists on, but I do all the drawings. I've done all the drawings since the Boobok episode. Sapphire used to draw all the drawings herself. But the other artists we've had on are Mari Carlson, who worked on the animated episode of Something Scary, and Carlos Dazas. And he storyboarded and drew some of the episodes, like the Joe Ball episode, the Gators, Gator Man of Elmendorf. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed working on the werewolf. I like the Rokurokubi from Japanese mythology, the long-necked woman. That was a real creepy episode to work on, and I just think it's a very unsettling idea. I really enjoyed making the demon in the elevator. That was a really great demon to draw. I liked the monster who mocks. Every week's a new adventure. I really enjoy working on all of it. Always remember to save, folks. My name is Johnny. Yeah, the Buvok was a creepy one. That was a fun one to work on. For some reason, I was inspired by the PC shooter game Blood from the 90s when I drew the Buvok. You know, I was inspired by those ghosts that chase you around, and they take like a lot of shots to kill. And also the hat kind of reminds me of Caleb from Blood. I recommend checking that game out if you haven't. It's like a classic. What if Something Scary was a little more anime?
From Gimlet, a tale of two princes whose love saved their kingdoms, and the sorceress who could take it all away.
It's a new beginning for all our people.
That's why it would be such a pity if it all came tumbling down.
Don't worry.
If I recall, the art style which Sapphire developed for Something Scary, that, you know, I'm still kind of continuing the tradition. I still draw the eyes the same way on the main characters. Not this character, but the human characters have kind of a line and like just a dot, and we don't fill in the whites of the eyes. And I think she was inspired by Daria, the character design on that show. And my wife and I recently watched all the episodes of Daria. It ends really abruptly. It ends like kind of on a sad note, with like Daria reminiscing on like when she was a child and her parents were like fighting. And I don't think it ever got renewed after that episode. Not because of that episode, but they ended on a very melancholy note. Thanks, Evie. Thanks, Ble Hatsune. Andrew, yes, I'm the only artist for Something Scary at the moment. Sometimes tiny teeth are scarier than big teeth. Other advice I have for young artists, especially those working digitally, is to learn the shortcuts of whatever software that you're starting out using. Because a lot of questions that you might have about the software, like how do I use this, actually get answered just by reading what the shortcuts are. And you're like, oh, that's how I do that. And the quickest way to use the software is to use the keyboard shortcuts. Otherwise, you're searching around, you're looking through all the options, you're like, where's this? How do I do this? You're clicking, and clicking is so time consuming. You know, would you play a first-person shooter game like a point-and-click adventure? I think not. You would learn the controls. Yeah, it is like sharks. The tiny teeth. Because tiny teeth don't look like they're gonna sever you, but they do feel like they're gonna like shred you up. You need to put all of these detail lines in their own layer, otherwise they're gonna get too hard to manage. And group them all together. Another advice for learning drawing software is to go outside of your comfort zone and try and learn that one thing that you've been putting off, like learning how to do, like resisting. Like, I don't need to use that. I don't need to learn how to use the clone stamp tool in Photoshop. Just learn it. Just find out what it is. Teach yourself something new every day. Not every day. Who has the time? We are getting pretty close to 2 million. Yeah, this creepy girl is like a metaphor for procrastination. Just clinging on. Hey, watch more YouTube videos. Someone in the comments said that I sounded like Chris from Family Guy. That's hilarious. I think probably when I do a voice like that. Like, hey! I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that voice anymore. Thanks, Stephanie. It's funny hearing when someone says I have an accent, because that probably means you're from another country, right? And I'm sure I'm sure people from other countries feel funny when other people say, you have an interesting accent, I love your accent. Because they're probably not thinking they have an accent, they're probably just thinking, that's the way I talk. It's a very American-centric, Anglo-centric thought to be like, oh, American accent isn't an accent. So, thank you. America, California. Aw, you think I could tell these stories? Maybe I should do an episode. I love Markeia's voice though. I think she does like a really moody, great job. Like, I think she's done some of the best episodes we've ever done. Too thick. There's no name for this monster. It's just a ghost of a little girl. A creepy girl who was burned alive in a house 50 years ago. And now she wants someone else to experience her fate. Now that the building has become a library. Don't go in the basement. Don't go in the creepy basement of the library. Actually do. Because it might be fun. You never know what's down there. Maybe creepy ghost, maybe interesting crusty old books covered in cobwebs. You never know. You'll never know until you go into the basement. Janny? I think that's a wonderful name for her. I think she might actually have a name, though. Actually, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't think we gave the girl a name. Well, first come, first serves. Let's call her Janny. I'll write it down.
Ladies and
It's not gonna come up in the episode or anything, but you and I will know it. It'll be a secret. Thank you, Dupe Mad. I mean, since the house burned down, maybe the corpse was like in the rubble that they built the new library on. I don't know. In areas of trauma, I think that's how ghosts supposedly collect, is like, it's like the Grudge theory, like where trauma or when something horrible happens in a place, it leaves an imprint. Yeah. I'm getting pretty happy with this. I get so nervous in the beginning when, like, there's a bunch of people flooding into the room and, like, my flash window is completely empty. It's just like, draw, go, 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 go. And I have no idea if it's gonna be good. And I'm just gonna be, like, looking like a fool for, like, 30 minutes. And then it starts coming together, and then the people that stuck around, you know. I'm just glad this turned out well. Sometimes it will take me like an hour or more before I'm happy with it. But this came together pretty fast. Sometimes you gotta take a chance, go outside your comfort zone, put some pressure on yourself. Johnny bit me. Johnny bit me ankle. Yeah, she's wearing like a sailor uniform.
For that long-awaited home edition. Now imagine an edition on that edition. That's the feeling with Capital One, where a new savings account earns an interest rate 5 times the national average. That's right, 5 times, as represented by 5 times more singers. This is banking reimagined. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Rate comparison based on FDIC national rate. Capital One NA member FDIC.
First the beef. One hot and deliciously juicy hunk of quality beef. Then the melty cheese making a run for it like it's sliding into home plate in slow, delicious motion. Don't forget the box. Sweet, beautiful.
I love Charlie Bit Me.
Do not eat the box. What does it all add up to? The hottest, juiciest quarter pounder yet. Made with 100% fresh beef. Only at McDonald's. It's perfect. Made perfect.
Fresh beef available at participating U.S. McDonald's. Excludes Alaska, Hawaii, and U.S. territories.
This is so much fun, you guys. I'm so glad you're all here with me. This is so much wub. So much dubstep. Alright, thanks for watching, Stephanie. Bye. Yeah, they are pretty white, huh? I don't see why they need to be rotten or anything. You know? We'll see. Maybe I'll give her some nasty teeth, but at least while I'm like coloring stuff in, because I can always change the colors later, I'm gonna keep them white. Because I like to build up a contrast. Like I'll start layering in the other colors, and then when the teeth look too bright or they look off, that's when I'll make a decision if I'm going to change the color. Yeah. Take me to the dentist that sharpens my teeth. I hope sharp teeth aren't becoming too much of a crutch for me. Like, eventually I'm gonna have to mix it up, but right now I'm just loving drawing terrifying sharp teeth on all the monsters. That's funny. Johnny drawing Janny. Oh no. It's alright, a little copy paste. And good as new. Don't you hate when you draw over your own layers? Haley, my name is Johnny. I am the artist for Something Scary. I am drawing it. Oh no, she's gonna gum me. She's gonna gum my ankle off. That would be a good scary story. This music is over. On to another playlist. Yeah, we should do a Something Scary story about a monster that just like gums you. Bit by the gums. I always love the voice they do at the beginning of episodes when they say the title of the story. My neighbor's a mummy. My dog has a night job. The monster who gums. It's a little too close to the monster that mocks, isn't it? Inez, forgive me for not answering your question. It's just gets asked like every 5 minutes, every 5 seconds sometimes, and We've answered it a lot on other streams. She's off doing other things. You know, we haven't written her off as, you know, she's always part of the Something Scary family, but she's doing her own podcast now. That's up to her. I mean, it's also just she's happy doing what she's doing. Never say never, but for now it's just Markeia, you know? Thank you very much, Esme. Janny's like, where are we going, huh? Come on, bring me. I wanna come too. I can't do the Chris voice on purpose, it just kind of happens on accident. There was a horror movie called The Dentist, and I think like the VHS cover looked a lot like these teeth, and I saw like the first 20 seconds of that movie and it freaked me out. I freaked myself more out walking through the horror section of Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, looking at the VHS covers than watching any horror movie ever has, because it's all in the imagination. You're like looking at all the VHS movie covers, and like anything could happen in your mind. Chucky freaked me out. Ghoulies. I mean, that had a monster coming out of the toilet. If you're like a little kid, you don't want to be sitting on the toilet for a while after that.
Green suede with like these long fringe pieces on it, and I looked like Glenn Campbell on crack.
I'm Alex Bloomberg. On Without Fail from Gimlet, I talk to all kinds of people about their failures on the path to success. Tap now to listen on Spotify.
An interesting creature inhabits the flat, arid plains of many an automobile dashboard. The bobblehead. It's most agreeable and will nod along to anything, despite having no brain function. But when the bobblehead hears how Geico not only saves people money, but also gives them access to licensed agents 24/7 online and over the phone, he'll nod even more vigorously because he knows you should switch. Because yes,
Here, I'm writing Janny's name in the symbol name
you're gonna get whiplash.
so that I know.
Listen to the top and
I know the truth.
US Top 40. Your favorite
This
track
girl's name is Jenny.
Ava Max.
Thank you, sweet cake.
BB Rexa and more. Click the banner.
Wrong turn. Yeah, I saw that on TNT or something once. It probably wasn't as scary with all the censorship, but it looked pretty good. If I'm not mistaken, it might be a female director that did that. I don't remember. If someone wants to, they could help me look up who directed Wrong Turn. But they've done other stuff since then, because I heard about them recently and I can't remember who they are or what they did. It's canon. You heard it here first. Yeah, Amir, this is going to be next week's video, going up on Tuesday. The movie with people in cotton candy cocoons. Are you talking about Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Because I love that movie, and I actually had the director of that movie as my teacher when I went to art school. And he taught stop motion. He still teaches stop motion, I think. And him and his brothers, the Kyoto brothers, still make they still make stuff. They're trying to get Killer Clowns 2 kickstarted, although I don't know. It's such a cult classic. They might have trouble funding it. Because you hear about like old movies, like, oh, everyone loves that movie, it's a classic, but like when it comes to actually putting up the dough for a Kickstarter, sometimes it's disappointing. I like Collector and the Collection. Those are pretty freaky. And I heard that the Collector was originally going to be a Saw sequel, or a Saw spin-off. And I am excited for Spiral. I want to see what new spin Chris Rock is going to put on it. Excuse me. Demonic Bunny. My demonic bunny. You know what my problem with the new It movie is they made Pennywise like too sexy looking. Like, I think he was supposed to be more grotesque, and they made him like too cool. They made him like the Predator. And you need him to look a little stupid, because like that's why Tim Curry's Pennywise worked so great, was he looked kind of dumb. It freaked you out, and clowns are kind of dumb, and that's like what's freaky about him. Whereas like the new Pennywise looks like the military developed him. Yeah, what's the name of the actor who plays him? Bill Skarsgård? I love him in that Hulu series, Castle Rock. Oh, thank you, Esme. Keep on working at it. You're gonna get there. Explain that to me, Bleh Hatsune. Is, they're making a new Wrong Turn? Is that what you're telling me? I haven't seen the original Ringu, but I have seen a lot of Asian horror. I remember the label Asian Tartan Asia Horror Extreme. So I saw movies like Three Extremes, which had like the dumplings story in it. That was creepy. I've seen a lot of Takashi Miike's movies, which are hit or miss for me. Like they range from like amazing to like me not being sure why, what the point is. Like I like Gozu a lot by Takashi Miike. I don't like Audition that much, surprisingly. I think it was like a little too slow when I watched it. I might need to revisit it because maybe I was missing something, but it just didn't do it for me. Don't Breathe. I don't remember what that is. Is that... That was like a Netflix original, right? And is that the one with the girl who's like blind, or like from the director of The Haunting of Hill House? I could be totally wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Reboot of the other ones. Okay. But you say Don't Breathe is good? Like I should check it out. What's the dumbest movie I've ever watched? I've seen some dumb ones. And I enjoy a good dumb movie once in a while. But are we talking like good dumb? Like are we talking like Troll 2 masterpiece dumb? Or are we talking like waste of time dumb? It's hard to say. There's a lot of like horror movies that fall in that category, but like I still love them. I'm gonna have to think about it. I probably couldn't tell you the dumbest one, but I could probably tell you like a couple waste of times. Like a lot of direct-to-video on demand stuff ends up being like frustrating. Like stuff released by the Asylum, like Sharknado. You haven't seen Poltergeist? What are you doing? Go rent it. Actually, there's a documentary coming out. It's a documentary series coming out on Shudder, directed by Jay Cheel, who does the Film Junk podcast, and he directed a series called Cursed Films. It's going to come out on Shudder, and one of the episodes they do, I believe, is Poltergeist, because it's one of the quote-unquote, like, cursed films. Welcome, Jacqueline. I sort of feel like Tarsem Singh's The Fall was a dumb waste of time. Like, it has like one of the most beautiful like first 5 minutes I've ever seen in a movie, and then the plot just like falls apart. It still has like beautiful visuals throughout, but like you could see like he's like a music video director, and it was all like style over substance. Yo, I have seen Hereditary. That is a crazy, wonderful movie. I heard that the actor who plays the boy in Hereditary he had like PTSD from working on that movie, which I'm not that happy about. Like, I feel like if you're directing a movie or a horror movie, your responsibility to your actors is to make them feel safe, especially when there have been like so many accidents on set. Things like you have like the Stanley Kubrick theory where like you have to like make people do a million takes, and like the results show, but is the 50 takes really necessary to get Jack Nicholson to that place? I think it's excessive, fetishistic. It's overboard. Just trust your actors to do it, and you don't need to like make them feel uncomfortable or unsafe to make a good movie. The Call. I haven't seen that. You recommend it? What year did it come out? The Nun. From the Book of the Conjuring. Let's put some shading on this monstie. You want some shading, Jenny?
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. Over 95% of places in the US that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2019 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
Finding great
All
candidates
right,
to
I'll
hire
put
can
it
be
on my
like,
list to
well,
check out.
trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. That's why 4 out of 5 employers who
I'm
post on
glad I
ZipRecruiter
never
get
saw
quality candidate
Hereditary
within the first
when I
day.
was little,
So
because
while other
that
companies
would
might
have
deliver a lot of
traumatized me.
hay, ZipRecruiter finds you
Luckily,
the needle in the haystack.
I'm a big boy now, and
By going to ZipRecruiter.com
I can handle
Spotify. That's
horror movies, but
Spotify.
that, like, if you're experiencing like real like trauma in your life, like you had a loved one pass away or something, like, do not watch Hereditary. Like, wait until you're comfortable and like or if you're okay to like freak yourself out, then watch it. There's certain movies that just they have like, they're like haunted, you know, like I feel like Rosemary's Baby is a haunted movie just because of like everything surrounding that, like the death of Sharon Tate and like the character of Roman Polanski himself, like and all that bad stuff he did. Like, that's a movie that feels like it has like a grimy residue on it, like in addition to just being like a freaky movie. And same thing with The Exorcist. I think there were some deaths associated with that movie, and it holds up. Why were you I guess I don't want to talk about spoilers for Hereditary, but there's a lot to dig into. I recommend checking out some of the YouTube videos to like understand what's going on in Hereditary, because there's a lot of stuff that I didn't get just from watching it. And Midsummer was cool too. Like, what's cool about those movies is it feels like there's like 2 movies going on at once. Like, there's the cosmic story going on, and there's like the plot. Alright, bye Giada, thank you. Thanks for watching. I wish I had a way to turn off that notification sound. I don't know if you guys can hear it, you probably can, but it's obnoxious. I used to have a little ding 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 sound that would go off every time like I would click something that I couldn't click on, and I had it like replaced with like a different sound. So I probably can change it so that that sound doesn't come up anymore, because I don't like it. Maybe I'll figure that out before next stream. I love drawing scary little girls. Last time the video was 6 hours long. Like I did it all day, and that was cool, but I think going forward they're probably just gonna be 3 hours long, because I don't expect anyone to watch it like all day, unless we just like have like a little marathon once in a while. But like, I don't want to keep anyone for that long, and I also feel like I should focus the videos towards drawing like one monster and like work on kind of like the boring stuff, the NPCs as it were, off the air. That way I can showcase a lot more technique in a smaller amount of time. And when I draw this, I am imagining a light source, like casting these shadows, but a lot of times like I'm bad and I don't even think about the light source. I just kind of just draw shadows wherever I want. So I need to be better about that, but I kind of have a light source coming from above, because the whole building is on fire. So I think that would cast shadows in this direction. You know, the Battle Royale games, like, I tried playing Apex Legends and it was too stressful. Like, because I was on a team and I let my team down, and that's like my least favorite thing about multiplayer games, is like jumping into something I have no idea how to do, and like everyone's depending on you, and you let them down. And also I have so little time to play video games that I'd rather focus on like single player experiences or something. And the single player experiences have gotten long too. Like, I admire The Witcher 3, I respect it, but I'm never gonna set aside time to play that. Who's got the time? Maybe someday. It looks worthwhile. I played it at my brother's house on his Xbox, and I love the combat. I like the preparation, like getting ready to fight the monsters. You have to actually like study up on like what a monster's weak against, which makes it very engaging. The story's good, and I like cutting those fish guys in half diagonally. That blew my mind the first time that happened. If I ever make a game with swordplay, I think I want to have the ability to cut folks in half diagonally. The channel name. I didn't pick the channel name. You mean Snarled, or do you mean Detecto Draws? Always remember to zoom out when you're working on something, because if you stay zoomed in too long, you can get really granular and realize that your shadows don't really look good from far away. Like, they look good if you're gonna do an extreme close-up, but you need to get the big picture, see what it looks like from far away. That's how you make something look iconic. Now for a royalty-free mix, this playlist I've been doing is alright. It's serviceable. It gets the job done. Like on that other playlist I played on last week's stream, it was really hit or miss. At least this is kind of, I don't know, works. I wish I could play like some real music though. Like, I like Lady Tron, I like Chelsea Wolfe, I like stuff kind of in the witch house genre. I like some vaporwave stuff. how do I say that name? Beak? Thanks for watching, Beak. Alright, Marin. Thanks for watching. Good night. Yeah, we're gonna go for like a little less than 40 minutes. We're gonna end at 3. So we'll see how far I can get on this creepy crawly. That's 3 p.m. California time.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. That's why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality.
Honestly, this is a dream job because
So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay,
all I've ever wanted to do is design creepy, scary monsters, and I get to do that for my job, and it's amazing. And
sounds amazing.
I appreciate the fans like you that encourage me to keep going.
You can take all your favorite songs, playlists, and
Makes
podcasts
it all
with you
worthwhile.
wherever you go. Want to spin some tunes on a merry-go-round? Easy. Drop some beats standing on top of a cliff? Done. Play heavy metal in a library? Yes, but keep it down. Tap the banner to download Spotify for your phone. All for free.
I don't know if anyone's used the like app on Snapchat that lets you like find out what Disney character you're gonna Disney character am I, and I think we're gonna try and make a similar app. Actually, I'm gonna do it because I do all the hard stuff. That's not fair. Everyone does hard stuff, but I'm going to figure out how to make the app for Snapchat, and I'm going to use screenshots of a lot of the scary monsters that we've featured before and see if we can do a thing that's like, what something scary character am I? Am I am I the Nishi? Am I the skin chair from the cannibal episode? Is anyone a fan of skin chair? I feel like skin chair's underrated. It's so gross. You know, most detailed artwork, like when someone says something is really detailed, it doesn't have to be detailed to look detailed. You just need to put the details in the place where everyone is looking. So sometimes making detailed artwork can be less work than it sounds like. And too much detail can look like a mess. Sometimes you don't want to get too detailed, because then you can't tell what's what. I would love to make a SomethingScary video game so much, but I've never made a video game before. I've been trying to learn for a long time, but they're expensive to make, and you have to make a lot of expensive mistakes. Whatever you do, don't go pss, 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 pss. Oops, I did it. What's gonna happen to me? I have my legs crisscross applesauce on my chair right now, so nothing's gonna bite my ankies. Thanks, S. MacArthur. Very nice of you. There's a sample in the song that reminds me of like a wrestling quote where someone's like, "Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody." I don't know if anyone's heard that. I don't know who does that. Makes me think of that though. Too much shadow. Needs to be thinner. Like that Stephen King movie, Thinner. Which is a problematic portrayal of Romani people. Here we go. Just like I pictured. This hair might be too clean. Like, I wonder if I should make it a little rattier, or if it looks creepy enough, like just with the face. Let's add some more gross details on the chin. Shane from BuzzFeed Unsolved. Last week, someone said I sounded like Solar Sands. Now I gotta find out who Shane from BuzzFeed Unsolved is. Terry Kids Adventures. You may not have a shout out. Oops. check it out. Thanks, Stephanie. Another thing you might want to know about details is they don't look good if they're evenly distributed. You want to kind of like pepper them in little points of focus. And it serves like as like a form of shading, kind of like when you put them in a certain place. Because when light hits your face, sometimes you just don't see the details at all because of where it's hitting it. And then, you know, if it's even, then it just looks like white noise. But space it out, you give everything a little area to punctuate, and you might have something really, really special. Yeah, every week, Liz. Every week we be making new videos.
Here's to the regular Joes.
What's up, Zayden from Roblox?
Actually, it's
This
Monica.
is your shout out.
Hard-working people.
Thanks.
At Golden One Credit Union, we're proud to work hard for you because as part of a not-for-profit credit union, you're not just a customer, you're a member. So whether it's better rates or fewer fees, everything we do for you. And now all Californians can join. Become a member. Golden One Credit Union. We're stronger together. Insured by NCUA.
Another good thing about design is to reuse design elements, and that's something you can learn from like Shigeru Miyamoto, and what he does like with Mario and Zelda is he's building up a language, and those old games, they didn't have you know, a lot of memory, so it might have kind of happened on accident. But they had to reuse a lot of stuff, but they made these huge, expansive worlds and reused so much stuff. And a surprising effect happens when you do that, is you start developing a language, and the audience, the player, whatever, they start to recognize patterns and an aesthetic, and that's what design's all about. Is, you know, you're creating like a voice. Because if everything looks unique, everything looks different constantly, again, it looks like white noise, but if you use the exceptional moments as punctuation to the language that you develop, then it stands out, you know? That's what it looks like without the shading. This is what it looks like with the shading. I wish I had time to shade every image in every episode, but I really kind of only get to use them for like the standout like poster moments. The monsters mainly. That is fun. It's a fun look. Start drawing these legs. I'm glad you liked the wolf episode, S. MacArthur. Shout out, S. MacArthur. Do we have a real life FBI agent in the audience? Big fan of X-Files. Big fan of your work on the X-Files. S. MacArthur, this is your shout out. Shout out to my homie S. MacArthur. Looks like another playlist is over. And a new playlist begins. Hey Madison, yes, I do all the art. Sapphire used to do it up until episode number 83, which was my first episode. And ever since that episode, the Boobach, I've been doing all the art. Except for a couple times when we had guest artists come on over Christmas break. We didn't, we had to crunch double time to make sure we had an episode that could come out Christmas and New Year's, so that we could all take a week off. Such a nice audience. You guys are the best. What's up? Is that your name, Roll? I've met someone from the Netherlands named Roll. Is that where you're from? Thank you, VLPEX. thanks Taylor14. You know, do a lot of practice. You know, learn from your favorite artists. Copy them. Do what they do. It's every artist learns from reference. They learn from their inspirations. You know, like walk a mile in your favorite artist's shoes and try to draw like them. Try to incorporate different artists and styles. You know, I have a Tumblr, which is what I use for collecting my favorite references. I usually use it to collect colors, like color schemes that I love. It's usually like screenshots from old horror movies and giallo horror and Japanese horror and horror manga, just deep reds and blues and purples. All my favorite things, and I got where I am today by observing and learning from my favorite artists. And, you know, don't worry about developing style, just pay attention to what you like and your style will emerge. You know, your style will be a mishmash of your favorite artists if you pay close attention. Take your favorite parts of each and combine them into one big art soup. Yeah. Animating is time consuming. I'm lucky that what we do, I don't know if it's real animation. It might be considered like animatic or like motion comic style, but what I like about that is it enables us to make like a new episode every week, and I like the quick turnaround. I like being able to see the work like the same week, because so many projects, you know, like I worked on Mr. Pickles, and you work on like 10 episodes for 6 or 7 months, and then you wait like a year or a month for Adult Swim to release it, and then when they do, you watch it, and then it's 10 minutes and it's over, and it's satisfying. You know, you're part of a team, you're part of like an amazing thing, but it's very satisfying, gratifying to have something come out instantly. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to draw. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. Like, it's always hard. You always have to, like, take yourself to the challenging place, but you develop skills. I used to think the better I got, I would just be able to turn my brain off and it would just come out, and I would make horrible stuff that way. You make some wonderful art that way too, and in stuff like figure drawing, you kind of do turn your brain off. You enter like a primordial state where you're just like drawing pure information, and I guess what I'm saying is there's a time and place for turning your brain off while drawing, and most of the time if you want to do it really well, you have to dig deep within yourself every time. Big Chongus. Imagine that being read for a story. You're here. You made it. I don't know if you're early, Asya. The stream's gonna end in 7 minutes. But we're happy you're here. I speak for everyone here when I say we're happy you're here. Yeah, it should be all scratched up. That's actually in the script. Good call, legendary Dominic. Yeah, 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock is the new time for now. On Wednesdays, I think pretty consistently we're going to be doing that. The 6-hour stream was too long. Might do one every once in a while, but I think 3 hours, short and sweet, enough time to get in, get out, draw one creepy crawly. The rest you'll have to wait to see on Tuesday. Just gonna say, like, if you want to see more stuff like this, follow me, give me a shout out on Twitter, Instagram, any of those places. My username is Detecto. And I'm trying to increase my social media presence and announce more of these and show more of the process, more of the behind the scenes that goes into making each of these episodes. Yeah, I edit them too. Recently, we've been working with an audio editor, and he'll actually animate the audio, and he'll cut stuff together, which means I'm taking a back seat to the editing a little bit, so I can focus more on the drawing, because I have been doing like all the editing since I started working on Snarled. And it is a lot of work. And since we're giving me more responsibilities, and because we're taking certain directions with the show to kind of beef it up a little bit, it's more time consuming for me. So I get to focus more on the stuff I love. Hey Mom, where's the toaster strudel? Is that your face looking for breakfast at 4 a.m.? Yeah, anyone who wants a shout out, let me know right now. Start shouting everyone out, because this is just about over. It's almost 3 o'clock p.m. PST. So shout out to Jeff, Legendary Dominic, Asia, Rain Ontiveros, Faith Chan, Legendary Dominic, Lauren Anderson, My Name Jeff, Madison Hill, Farrah Smile, S. MacArthur. Shout out to all of you. Yeah, we're wrapping it up. It's coming to a close.
Whatever your niche, Spotify has a podcast for you. Tap the banner to check out what's streaming right now.
Myth Dark, Banana Girl, Legendary Dominant, Cookie Kitty. You're all the best. It makes perfect sense. You're all the best. You know? Some people say there can only be one, but I mean, prove it. I was trying to make her dance here. Yeah, I'm American. I'm in California.